Welcome to the Cameron Show. I'm your friend Cameron Tyler, and I'm so happy you're here today. We're coming to you from Dude IDK Studios in Denver, and today is a very special day because we're crossing over. It's the crossover episode. Today, my guest friend is Molly Smith,
Hi.
host of Dude IDK's podcast, Did That Age Well? And on Molly's podcast, we talk about what in movies that we love has aged well and what hasn't.
Yes.
And so we're kind of going to do that on today's episode of The Cameron Show. On our episode, we're going to talk about the first Sex and the City movie. And then you guys will follow us over to Did That Age Well? And Molly and I will be discussing the second Sex and the City movie. Spoiler alert, didn't age very well. Some would say it wasn't even great when it came out.
A lot of people would say that.
A lot of people did say it.
Almost everyone.
It flopped.
Yep.
So Molly,
Hi.
we were talking about this. It's our fourth episode that we filmed together between our two podcasts.
An honor.
A true honor.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one I've recorded with more.
That's so true.
And probably nobody that I will.
Mm.
Because we just can't stay away from each other.
We can't stop yapping.
If for some reason, though, someone's never tuned in to one of our previous episodes and you had to introduce yourself to them in 10 words or less, how would you do that?
First of all, can you imagine a world where someone didn't listen to our episodes in the past?
If that's you, you're sick.
That's definitely more than 10 words already. I'm Molly. I hosted That Age Well. Cameron is my friend. Sorry, did you want me to take that literally? The 10 words or less?
If you can't tell, she's also a Leo. Just like me. Our birthdays are one day apart.
Yeah, they are. You're July 26th, right?
8th.
July 28th.
And you're the 27th.
I'm the 25th.
You're the 25th? Oh, our
3
birthdays
days.
are 3 days apart. And
Okay.
some years.
We won't say how many.
Because I'm in my 20s still.
Yeah,
Famously.
And what does Carrie say? Your 20s are for having fun, your 30s are for learning lessons, and your 40s are for paying for the drinks.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm always telling you to have more fun, because of the lessons I've learned. And that's why nobody's paying for our drinks.
I know. We don't have any friends in their 40s.
Mm-mm.
They all expired. Just kidding. We love our friends in their 40s.
Love you all.
Lindsay Benton, I'm talking to you.
Read her.
She's friends with both of us. I'm just saying she's our oldest mutual friend.
That is honestly so true.
But you would never guess it.
No.
Beautiful. Looks way
Gorgeous.
younger than me. Also a Leo. Her birthday is one day away from mine.
That is right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. She does look younger than
She
you.
introduced us.
She did.
Lindsay Benton, shout out to you. You're the connector here. You are our Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh my gosh. And it truly, we wouldn't even be here without Lindsay.
Oh my God. Wait, before we go any further though,
Okay.
and you can answer this. I don't think we've ever discussed this. I'm really curious. You can say a sun, a moon, and a rising.
Okay.
Carrie, Charlotte, Miranda, Samantha.
Okay.
What's yours?
I am, unfortunately, Carrie's son.
Oh.
I
Okay.
am a Miranda rising. No. Samantha rising and a Miranda moon. Right?
Wow.
Don't you think?
Wait, did you say a Samantha rising, Miranda moon,
I think so.
and a Carrie sun?
I think so. Is that what I said? Yeah.
Well, is it? Let me make sure I get this right before
Okay.
I say mine. Is your
Okay.
sun like your main,
Mm-hmm.
and then your moon is more like when you're by yourself, or your
Yes.
most like introverted self, or like
yeah,
inside, and then the rising is what other people see.
Yeah.
Is that just the gist of it?
I believe so.
Okay, so yeah, I can see that actually for you.
Yeah.
Wow, I struggle with mine. You came up with yours really fast. You know what? I would say at my core, I am I want to say Carrie, but I do
Yeah.
think at my core I am a Samantha.
I think you are too.
And I have been told this by producer Michael.
Yeah.
He said, like, I know you want to be a Carrie so bad, but
Mhm.
the fact is, in my heart, I'm a Samantha, but my
Yeah.
rising would be Carrie.
That I think is true.
Because I'm a writer, I'm a podcaster,
Yeah.
I'm a mess. I'm the villain sometimes.
Oh, big
I have
time.
great gal pals.
Oh,
And I, too, use my oven for storage.
so true.
And my Moon, I think a lot of people would be surprised to know my moon is a Charlotte.
I was going to say that. And maybe other people would be surprised to know I'm not.
You're not?
No.
I am a big mushy romantic deep
And
down.
I know that about you.
And I tried to kill Charlotte in my body. I can't.
You can't.
I can't kill her.
You know what's fascinating is that I think that I wish that I was a Samantha son, but I'm unfortunately a Carrie son. Like, I want to be the person that's like the most fun, the most secure in her career, the most generous, and instead I think that I am perhaps the most selfish and the most annoying.
And you know what? I love that you can just say that.
Yeah, thanks.
It's called owning it.
And I hear you not arguing with me, and that's how I know it's real.
I'm just trying to imagine us having the conversation from the show where they're like, where Carrie needs to borrow like $40,000 and Charlotte's like, I don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'm like imagining you coming up to me and being like, you could pawn your ring and give me $40,000.
Yeah.
Except for I would do it.
I know, because you're a Samantha.
Side. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
Samantha would say, "Oh, honey, 40,000.
Oh,
that's one day's
honey.
work of work."
Oh, $40,000. Is that all you need? What good is Mr. Big?
Right.
Wow. So anyway, this is all to say that Molly and I have done the work. We've done the work. We've done our homework. We know who we are. And unlike Molly, I have a more unhealthy obsession with Sex and the City. It's so unhealthy.
I'd say that.
Yeah. Oh, puppies. We're joined by
Hi,
puppies
Winnie.
today, too. So if you hear little pitter patters, we love them. I've done the work, but I'm more unhealthy in the sense that I stayed with Carrie Bradshaw through the series and just like that.
Famously. Quite famously. Maybe
Molly
one of the
not.
biggest signifiers of your identity.
One of the biggest signifiers of my identity is the phrase "and just like that," and also that I did watch the entire series from A to Z. Molly did not watch the series, so I'm going to be infusing some spoilers from "and just like that." But let's be real, they're not spoilers at this point because the series is literally over, and if you didn't watch it, you're probably not going to, so it's fine.
Absolutely, except that I will correct you and say I have watched a little of "and just like that" when you made me watch this scene, and just like that, Big died.
I did make Molly watch Mr. Big's death the other day.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that.
Oh, we'll get there.
So this first Sex in the City movie, just to give a little background on the film we're talking about, in case it's for some reason been a long time since you've seen it. The Sex in the City movie came out in the year 2008. The Sex in the City movie is the first thing I ever saw that was Sex in the City.
Wild.
I went to the Elvis movie theater with my mom and her friend Dawn, and I had just come out but a month earlier, and they let me pick the movie, and I knew nothing about Sex in the City, but I knew that it was like for the girls and the gays.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, now that I'm gay, I better see what this is about.
Better study up.
And thank God I did.
Yeah.
I was enthralled. My mom and Dawn were confused.
Would you, if you had to go back and do it again, would you have still seen it with your mom and Dawn, or would you have gone maybe with the girls?
No.
Not to say that mom and Dawn aren't the girls, but, you know, your peers.
My mom was very fabulous in the way that she and I have the same taste in men.
Oh, love that.
And one particular thing that we have in common is we love a, like, tall, dark, and handsome, mildly ethnic-looking stud.
Rich.
Like the guy that Samantha can't stop watching. So I was happy to watch it with my mom. Because, like, when it shows him in the shower at the end of the movie, my mom and I both were like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Bonding moment. Important moment between mother and son.
I mean, have I ever told you how he came out to my mom?
I don't think so.
Over Mario Lopez? It was
and just like that, Cameron came out because of his crush on Mario Lopez.
No, okay. So in 2008, it must have been like around Memorial Day of 2008, because that's when I came out. I was 16.
Never forget.
Never forget. Never forget. Mario Lopez did like some kind of guest appearance on that show Nip Tuck.
Oh.
And on the show, he shows his butt. And
You do love a juicy butt.
Love it. I love it,
Yeah.
famously. And they were interviewing him on some entertainment program, like Entertainment Tonight or something. And my mom and I were on the couch in our living room, and my sister was like coloring on the floor, like in a notebook, doodling or something. I will never forget. And Mario Lopez is talking about doing this like nude scene. And my mom turns to me because, unbeknownst to me, she had heard me having a conversation with my friend Zoraida.
Yeah.
Who is the first person I came out to.
Okay.
And my mom looks at me and she goes, Cameron, isn't he so hot?
Wow.
What was I to do?
Mom, she opened the door for you.
My mom opened.
She said, get out of that closet. I've opened the door.
Yeah, it was more
Mario
akin to
has
her,
opened the door.
It was more akin to her opening the door of a speeding car and throwing me out. What could I do? I had no choice.
Yeah.
I couldn't lie.
What were you going to do? Lie in the face of Mario Lopez?
No.
Lie in the butt of Mario Lopez?
I felt like George Washington. I cannot tell a lie. I think he is so hot. I had to say it. Like, yeah, he's so hot. And my mom just goes, I knew it. And then
she said, I knew it.
Well, my mom is a drama queen. So then, like,
big surprise.
She left it alone for a minute. And then, like, 3 days later, as she's dropping me off for work, she just has a mentee bee and is like, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Moms love to do that in the car.
Was I such a bad mom? Very Gen X. Anyway, you can read all about the details in my memoir, A Mural in Space, a gay boy's memoir, which I have to plug at least once an episode.
And just like that, he plugged his memoir.
Which is also very Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh, it so is.
This is part of my rising.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but wonder, when was I going to plug my book in the podcast?
It happens at least once a week, babes.
Good.
So anyway, I saw this movie in 2008. It sparked quite the interest. I then binged the entire show because my cousin Audrey had the DVDs and she let me borrow them.
Oh.
And I was obsessed with the show. And then when the second movie came out, I don't think I told you this the other day, I won tickets to go to an early screening of Sex and the City 2.
No way.
Through the local gay publication Outfront Denver. They posted, it was 2010. They posted on Facebook.
Oh my
And they were
God.
like, whoever is the first person to comment, who's the famous costume designer behind the Sex and the City universe? And I instantly comment, Patricia Field.
Obviously.
Duh. They messaged me. They're like, come pick up your tickets. You won.
Who'd you take?
Nobody would go with me.
No.
I went by myself. And you know what? I don't regret
Wow.
that because I remember being so happy I had an empty seat next to me because, you know, you don't want to sit by a stranger at a movie.
No.
Nobody does. And if you say you don't care, you're lying.
Yeah.
So I went by myself, and every summer my little Facebook memory comes up where I bragged about going to an early screening.
That's so
and was
cute.
like, just got home from Sex and the City 2. Wow, what a sequel. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Oh, that's such a mistake you said that.
It's such a mistake I said that because famously the second movie flopped so bad.
Wow.
But I sincerely was so into it that I was convinced everyone was going to love it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, everyone needs to tune in to Molly's podcast this week to hear us talk about the second movie because now in like a different state of mind, I can see how it's actually a terrible movie.
Right.
That I love. But that is terrible.
Well, when we get onto my podcast, I can't wait to hear about your surprise, like much to your surprise, how the rest of the world reacted. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. So everyone tune in. Make sure you end up at Did That Age Well right after this. So speaking of this movie, I think what I want to do is I want to break the movie up into the 4 gals.
Oh, I love that.
And I want to do a little bit of a dive into each of their storylines, starting with the easiest and ending, of course, with the Carrie and Big saga.
Perfect.
That is the centerpiece of this film.
Love.
So the first gal that I want to talk about is Charlotte. And the thing that I feel about Charlotte in this movie is that her storyline throughout the show was that she couldn't have a baby. So at the
Yeah.
end of the series, she and her husband Harry end up going to China to adopt their daughter Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Her storyline in this movie is basically just like, besides being a support to Carrie, she
Mm-hmm.
does get pregnant. It makes her afraid to go on runs.
Yeah.
And then Harry calls Carrie, and Carrie tells Charlotte, you should go on a run because that's who you are. And then Charlotte starts running. And that's basically her whole storyline, I feel like.
Yeah, we spend about 2 minutes watching the seasons change in Central Park while Charlotte gets more and more pregnant and continues running.
And this is kind of why I feel like they did Charlotte a little bit dirty in this movie, because
Yeah.
for as little significant story as they gave Charlotte, the
Mm-hmm.
most significant thing that happens to Charlotte actually isn't when she finds out she's pregnant. It's when she shits her pants in Mexico.
Yeah.
Or as Carrie puts it, Poughkeepsie's her pants.
Yeah.
Because they go on this trip to Mexico after the doomed wedding day, which we will, of course, be diving into. But Charlotte is like afraid. This is like the other main plot point they gave her. She's afraid to eat the food in Mexico. They make Charlotte very xenophobic.
Absolutely. Do you think that lining up with her character in the show, do you think that she would actually be that xenophobic to only eat pudding from Poughkeepsie?
I don't. Like, I think about Charlotte York from Sex and the City as actually quite sophisticated.
Yeah.
And I am an avid listener of Kristen Davis's podcast, Are You a Charlotte? Which is how I did come to self-identify my moon as a Charlotte.
It's big.
And she really likes to say, like, actually, if you do the math, Charlotte slept with more guys than any of the other girls in the show.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's true or not, but she says it a lot, which leads me to believe that it's true, because why would Kristen Davis lie about this?
Right.
But it does make me remember that in the show, she is an art gallery queen. She's very cultured. She's very smart, especially in the early seasons. And I just don't believe that she would go to a top-notch resort in Mexico and only eat pudding from Poughkeepsie.
Right.
And then is taking a shower, opens her mouth, gets a little bit of water in there, and then has not just like a minor stomach ache, but like a growling, dispelling.
Yeah.
While the maid is cleaning and has her locked out, which is also a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like they did Charlotte dirty in this movie. Like, sure, she got a kid out of it at the end.
Yeah.
But other than that, her role is just supporting Carrie.
Yep.
And we'll talk about it more on your podcast, but I also feel like they did her dirty in the second movie, too.
They absolutely did. They just rested on their laurels with the most significant stereotypes of Charlotte being like, she's a little stuck up and she's a little prude, which, again, I don't know if that's really true.
I don't think it is either. This is one qualm I have with Michael Patrick King. I don't think he gave Kristen Davis, the actress, enough credit. I think she could have done more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts on Charlotte in this movie?
I mean, what else is there to say? Literally nothing happens to her.
I know. That's really a huge bummer, because especially now that I'm an avid listener of Kristen Davis's podcast, I've really come to appreciate the character of Charlotte. And I will say also, Kristen Davis has responded to the cancellation of And Just Like That by saying she doesn't feel like it's over.
Wow.
And she feels like there's more Charlotte York to come in the future.
What are they going to do? A spinoff of like Life with Charlotte?
Well, I think that maybe we're not done with the Sex and the City universe.
Okay.
Sarah Jessica Parker hasn't said that she feels like it's done. Like, she's hinted that it could come back. I'm just saying, I have hope. And if that comes to fruition, my hope, they just had started getting Charlotte's character good on And Just Like That.
Aww.
So I would like to see her get something really substantial.
Yeah.
It did not happen in this movie.
I certainly hope that if there's more to the Sex and the City story, that we get more from Charlotte, that they give her more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlotte's more than a mom.
Yeah. And honestly, one thing that was consistent in the film was that Lily was always around. Like, it was like, does Harry not ever just take care of Lily?
That's true.
You know, like
Charlotte always has her.
She always has her, and they can't talk about anything really in front of the kid because she's going to repeat everything, which is funny when little kids say stuff they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But it was so baffling to me, like, okay, well, where's Harry?
Yeah, and also, how does she not have a nanny but Miranda does?
Yeah,
And Miranda lives
and
in
how is
Brooklyn.
Miranda complaining all the time about how she has a kid, while Charlotte, meanwhile, seems to be the only caretaker for her child?
I know. It is a very strange, and this is what reminds me, like, I have a lot of admiration for Michael Patrick King,
Mm-hmm.
and also there are some flaws in his writing.
Of course.
Listen, I listened to the whole And Just Like That Writer's Room podcast on top of watching the entire series. I have done my homework. I love this man, and this is just not one of his. Writing about motherhood, shocking.
Wow, shocker.
A Gen X gay man.
Yeah.
He's not very good at it.
And he doesn't have children, does he?
No, and he does rely a lot on his fellow writers who were with him throughout the series, who are moms. But at the end of the day, I can just tell who's making the executive decisions, and I think it could be done better.
I agree.
Let's talk about Miranda, since we're kind of in the subject of motherhood.
Miranda pissed me the fuck off in
Really?
this movie. Yeah, I found
Okay.
her to be so frustrating.
Okay, let's talk about that.
I think first because the whole thing with Steve, like I was really on the side of, okay, yes, Steve made a mistake, but she was treating it in the same way that Carrie was treating her falling out with Big. And she was kind of like equating the two, being like, oh yeah, it's like the same. And it's like, no, girl, it's not. And she's always, one thing that always frustrates me about Miranda is that she acts like she's the only one with a job and the only one with a kid. She's
true.
always like, I can't go. Some of us have a job. And it's like, actually, all of you have a job. And and famously, I think that Samantha is the hardest working and busiest of them all.
That's true.
And Miranda is constantly like, she's like, I can't take a vacation. I have a child and a job. It's like, literally, what do you think everyone else is doing?
Yeah, and you have a nanny.
Yeah.
Okay, so in case someone at home hasn't seen the movie or it's been a long time, explain what happens with her and Steve in this movie.
Okay, so Steve and Miranda, their marriage is kind of falling out of romance. They've lost the spark. They're both really kind of involved in their own separate worlds and lives and focusing on, just getting through the day. And Steve has a brief affair with somebody outside of their marriage. He has like a one-night stand.
Yeah, it's hard to even call it an affair.
I wouldn't even call it an affair. I would say it was he cheated on her with a one-night stand. We don't even learn anything about the context of it because I think it's unimportant. Like to me, it's like we all understand what a one-night stand is. And he comes to her and tells her what happened, and she says, okay, you betrayed me, we're separating. And they stay separated for what, a year?
Yeah,
Months?
because this movie, and I have said this before, that one of my favorite things about this movie is it's like a whole new season of the show because it spans 1 year. It starts in the summer and it ends in the spring. And they're basically separated for this whole thing. And in the beginning, you do find out that, I mean, like Molly said, they're kind of like in a loveless marriage, which if you watch And Just Like That, it actually does kind of make sense that she ends up realizing she's queer.
Oh my God. The whole time I was like, well, girl, the reason you're not sexually satisfied is because he's a cisgendered man.
Yeah. And like literally one of their first scenes in the movie is them having sex. And Miranda's like, let's just get this over with. And I'm like, and people were really shocked when the character ended up being queer.
Right.
I'm like, I was not.
No. From the beginning. I mean, when I watched Sex and the City for the first time, I was in high school, prefrontal cortex not fully developed, okay? I was still stupid. Even I knew then. I said,
she's a lesbian.
She's a lesbian for sure.
Yeah, so Miranda in this movie, a lot of her storyline has to do with adjusting to not being married to Steve anymore, but she still clearly like loves Steve. And by the way, I do like, a lot of people think it's either or, like either Miranda's queer or she loves Steve. Both can't be true, but I think both are true.
Oh, absolutely. I think that both are true for sure. There are so many different types of love, and obviously they make a good married couple. I mean, I haven't seen it just like that, so I don't know if that like continues, but it seems like, you know, they co-parent well. He's so supportive of her. She wants to be supportive of him, but like can't really execute it until she has this realization that like, oh yeah, I actually do love him and I do want this to work, and maybe this separation isn't the best way to handle my grief and frustration with what happened. But
Yeah, because they're really good companions.
exactly.
And actually, that does translate into And Just Like That. And I know in a lot of ways I can be a crazy And Just Like That apologist, but I actually think the relationship with Steve and Miranda is excellently executed in And Just Like That. Because
Okay.
I'll tell you what happens in And Just Like That. In the first season of And Just Like That, Miranda and Steve are still together. They have Brady living in their house, and he's like end of high school / beginning of college.
Okay.
He has a girlfriend. They're doing it in the house. One of the first scenes in the whole series is Miranda being like, "Oh my God, I almost stepped on a condom in Brady's room."
Oh my God.
Like he's a late teenager.
Yeah.
But Steve and Miranda are very clearly still really good companions.
Totally.
They eat ice cream every night and watch movies. It's like they have
Yeah.
a ritual.
Totally.
But then she meets Carrie's podcast boss, one of the
Oh my
worst
God.
characters ever created, Shay Diaz,
Oh my God.
and falls for them,
Yeah.
and ends up leaving Steve to pursue a relationship with that person, who is a non-binary.
Yeah.
And I will say the companionship aspect of Steve and Miranda is really the same as it ever was.
Yeah.
Where they have a lot of mutual respect.
Absolutely.
They care about each other so much, and you see Miranda become passionate with the person in a way she never was with Steve. And it doesn't mean she didn't love Steve. It just means the whole time she didn't know what she was looking for till she found it in her 50s.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
it
it actually
happens.
was well done.
Yeah.
But she does piss me off by complaining so much about work.
Yes. And here's the thing. I understand, like, work is hard. We all who have jobs understand that.
Yeah.
And I understand that, like, her job as a lawyer is demanding.
Totally.
But I look at Samantha and I'm like, Samantha is running the entire PR world. Like, Samantha is one of the most important people to know. And she's always got her phone on her. She's always got her beeper. She's got her pager. She's got it all. She is always working. But we never hear her complain about it. And like, yeah, you got to complain about work to your friends sometimes. But Miranda acts as though she is the only one who has work to do. She's like, you guys don't understand. I can't go to Mexico because I have work.
Yeah, and meanwhile, let's move on to Samantha.
Okay.
You're great at the segue.
Thank you so much.
You didn't even mean to do it, I don't think,
Oh my
but you
God.
did it. You did it. Samantha, also, it's very worth noting, is in this movie living in California.
Yeah.
And constantly going to New York to be a part of her friends' lives.
Yes.
This is also something she does not complain about. And Miranda loves to complain about going to Manhattan from Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn. I'm like, Samantha lives thousands of miles away. You have to take a train.
Oh my God. Miranda complains about going from Brooklyn to Manhattan way more than Samantha ever talks about. Even mentions it. Even says, oh wow, well, no one even says, how was your flight?
No one asks.
And every time Miranda shows up somewhere, she's like, oh man, you know, I'm in Brooklyn.
Yeah, you guys are all still in Manhattan. I'm like, that's actually probably the most typical, real New Yorker thing to do.
Absolutely.
If you're like a Manhattan girly who then moves to Brooklyn and your friends stay in Manhattan. But like,
that honestly, that is so true. Like, if this were real life, someone who is bi-coastal, someone who's going from LA to New York would try to make it seem as normal as possible, when the girl who lives in Brooklyn, when all the rest of her friends live in Manhattan, she's in a, you know, long distance relationship with her friends.
That is what Miranda acts like.
Yeah.
So Samantha in this movie, I actually love her storyline.
Me too.
Except for one part of it, which we have to discuss.
Okay.
So let's talk about what her storyline is first. In this movie, Samantha, as per the end of the series, is still with Smith Jarrett.
Yeah.
the movie star that she created, and he is beautiful. He is very loving to her. He's very
Mm-hmm.
supportive of her, and she's of course in LA to support his acting career.
Yeah.
And she loves him. I mean, don't forget, audience, this is the man who stuck with her through cancer
Yep.
and made her believe that she is capable of finding true love.
Absolutely. And the thing is that, like, even though by the end of the movie she decides to move on from the relationship, she just decides to move back to New York, she still, despite her doubts of, like, you know, do I owe him or do
Mm-hmm.
I not? I think she finally comes to the conclusion that, like, he served a really important purpose at a point in her life when she needed him and when they needed
Yes.
each other. And, like, she will always love him and he will always be important to her. And they just don't fit anymore. Like, their lives just don't fit. And I thought that was one of the most, it was probably the most mature thing
Yeah.
that I saw in any of these women, was the one who said, you know what, actually this relationship isn't working for me, and it's not because I have any ill will toward this person. I just realize what I need,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, lets him down in the easiest way possible.
Yeah. Throughout this
Yeah.
movie, she realizes that she's in love with herself, and specifically the version of herself that's in New York with her friends.
Yeah, and the version of herself that was, you know, a few pounds lighter.
Yeah.
That is another part of the storyline that is a bummer, is what's with the pooch.
Yeah, this is where, again, Michael Patrick King, as a non-woman, I
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
dropped the ball. They basically, so the whole movie, Samantha's wrestling with this concept of, like,
Mhm.
I love Smith, I know I love him, and he stuck by me through so much.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I don't want to be in this relationship in California anymore.
Yeah.
And so the way that they kind of illustrate her turmoil is A, to make her lust over her very sexy neighbor,
Loved that.
you know, whom my mother and I also lusted after.
Of course.
Bonding.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's very warranted, but she never cheats, which I love, because she
Mhm.
still honors the relationship while she's in it.
Yeah.
And then also toward the end, for honestly no good reason, they write in this storyline that she's coping by eating a lot. And although
Yeah.
Kim Cattrall looks the exact same throughout this whole movie,
Yeah.
everyone starts acting toward the end of the movie as if she's gained a ton of weight.
Yeah. And they're all like, wow, she really let herself go.
Yeah, they even do
They
like
say,
a
and
close up
just
on her belly, and her belly looks flat as ever.
yeah. And just like that, Samantha became a whale was the message.
Yeah, was the message. By the way, she looks exactly the same.
The same.
And it is so it's one of the few things they ever did in this universe that I was like, I actually hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate a lot. I can be very understanding with a lot of the plot points in this universe.
To a fault, some would say.
To a fault, a lot of people would say. But this is one thing that I'm like, I'm sorry, Michael Patrick King. There's no excuse for this.
Yeah.
You did Samantha dirty there. One thing I will say, I agree with you 1,000%. It's one of my favorite, most mature things they ever did on this show. And it also resulted in one of my favorite lines. And I wish I had written it down verbatim. But if you remember, at the end, where Samantha famously tells Smith, I love you, but I love me more.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, in and of itself is a perfect line.
Yeah.
Then Carrie's voiceover says, sometimes the greatest... sometimes the greatest romantic stories or whatever are short stories, but that doesn't make them any less important and filled with love.
Absolutely.
I love that message.
Yes.
I love that.
I do believe that he was the great love of her life. And I think that her relationship with herself and with her friends is the greatest love of her life, you know?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, she's the one who says also, we said it a long time ago, men, babies, doesn't matter, we're soulmates to the girls.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of why her non-presence makes a big difference in it, just like that. But
and which is why they should have killed her.
Molly believes they should have killed her. I don't necessarily disagree.
Yeah.
I do like the way they handled it. Which if you watched it, she's alive through text, and sometimes it feels like she's there even when she's not. And
my God.
did you know she does do a cameo in season 2?
I did know that.
So like, if she were dead, she couldn't do that.
Yeah, and the whole show would have made more sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So,
and it would have been really interesting to see how the 3 of them grieve the loss of Samantha. Like, I think that would have been really interesting to see.
I do agree with that.
Because like we see how Carrie grieves Big. I mean, I assume, without having seen it.
No, we do.
And we see how people like grieve the loss of their marriages and things like that, I assume. But it would have been really interesting to see like what grief looks like with your soulmate who is your best friend.
That would have been so heavy though. To do while she's grieving Big. I mean,
I think
Big
maybe
had to die.
Did he?
Yeah, because the whole show is her being a widow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I get why they didn't, but
maybe they could have picked up and been like, Samantha died 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they really could have done that because enough time had passed.
Yeah. But who are we to say? They didn't do that.
They didn't do that, and I can accept what happened, but I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to do Sip Save or Spill really quick, but before that, we have a whole other storyline to cover, which is the main storyline.
And we need to circle back to Miranda's purpose in the plot of telling Big that marriage ruins everything at the rehearsal dinner.
Yes, because, that's part of the Carrie storyline.
Yes,
so let's talk about the biggest storyline in this movie is Carrie and Big are finally going to get married because in the beginning of this movie, Carrie's seeing all these signs that it's not a good idea to be with a man and not be married to him because especially if he's rich and you're not, then if he decides it's over, you're left with nothing. Yeah. And so Carrie wants to get married. They have a conversation.
She wants the penthouse, and I get it.
Oh, I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's very non-romantic how it happens, in my opinion. They have a conversation and Big goes, well, do you want to get married?
It's very much like, I don't know, do you?
Yeah.
It's really like, oh, I don't care where we eat. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, I want to be with you. So like, if you want to get married, fine. She's so caught off guard that in the beginning you're like, oh, so they're just like going to have a low-key wedding. But then, you know, as one might, she goes down the rabbit hole of like, oh my God, I'm getting married, gets excited.
Yeah.
Charlotte hires Anthony to be the wedding planner. And before you know it, they've constructed a wedding of over 200 guests. It's in page 6.
And just like that, the wedding guest list became 200 people.
Yeah, when it originally was 75.
Yeah. A very perfect number, in my opinion.
A very perfect number in Anthony's opinion, too.
Yeah.
So this wedding becomes a circus, and Big, we already know something is a brewing because he's really nervous, and he's like, this is my 3rd marriage, and now this is becoming a spectacle, and what are people going to say? Which is, by the way, so fucking annoying.
I hate the trope of men hate weddings. And he says he doesn't want a big wedding because it's his 3rd marriage. I don't see the logic in that.
Me neither, especially because it's Carrie's 1st marriage, and it's frankly a miracle that it's happening.
Yeah.
Let her wear a bird on her head in New York Public Library in front of 200 fucking people.
Was the bird supposed to be like taxidermy, or was it supposed to be like it looks like a bird?
I believe it's a real bird. I famously wore this bird in my 2023 holiday card.
Oh my god.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't receive your 2023 holiday card.
We didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other, which is why I didn't receive it.
Oh my God. I mean, I have to show it to you.
Okay.
And I will put it, but like, to me, let's just talk about it.
Okay.
Carrie's wedding look is a Vivienne Westwood original wedding gown. And for her veil, she has this teal bird attached to her veil. And it is, in my opinion, extremely stunning. Although she does this whole photo shoot for Vogue, and it's not my favorite. My favorite one that she wore in the photo shoot montage was the Oscar de la Renta.
Me too.
Wait, was that also your favorite?
Yes,
I was going to ask which one was your favorite.
Oscar de la Renta. Then my second favorite was the Dior. And then...
Oh, the Dior is so like old school.
Yeah. I thought it was classic. Not in the way that ugly ass vintage pantsuit looking one was.
Well, I liked that too. The
Okay.
dress by no one.
The dress by no one.
So this, which I'll also post on my Instagram, was my 2023 holiday card.
My God.
Every year I have an original holiday card drawn for me by the artist Batwin.
It looks like perhaps the peacock is feeling a little bit scared. Like, am I next? You know what I mean? Like,
oh my
he's
God,
got a
I didn't
bird.
even...
He's got a bird on his head. What is he gonna do with me?
Oh my God. To be honest with you, I never even thought about this. In this photo, I'm wearing a bird on my head while I'm sitting next to a bird. That's actually, I've never thought about that in 2 years.
And he's looking away like maybe if I don't make eye contact, he'll forget I'm here.
He's like, Barry, is that you? It's his cousin. Oh my God. Okay, well, I now realize I'm a sicko for this.
First of all, I love that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So anyway, this wedding becomes so big,
Mm-hmm.
no pun intended. It's not very big at all, but it's gotten huge.
Right.
And so, long story short, because we need to move this along.
Sure.
Big stands up Carrie at the wedding.
Oh my God.
It is an incredibly, in my opinion, an incredibly written and directed scene. The suspense is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The drama, the close-ups, the music, the acting.
Yeah.
Kristen Davis actually does shine in this.
Yes.
When she's protective over Carrie and she roars no when Big tries to make it right.
Yeah.
Samantha plays so well at being like, I'm going to go into PR mode and take care of this crisis.
Absolutely.
Carrie goes nonverbal, which is probably a relief to millions. But Miranda feels guilty, and talk to our friends about why Miranda feels guilty.
So Miranda, because Steve showed up to the rehearsal dinner without her, you know, he wasn't invited, or maybe I'm sure that he was invited, and then Carrie was like, maybe we just don't. So he shows up because he knows that Miranda's going to be there, and she hasn't been returning his calls. She hasn't been, like, you know, accepting his gifts. And typically I would say that means leave her the fuck alone. But this is Steve, so I'm making an exception on how I view this.
Oh yeah.
So he shows up to say, hey, I like need to talk to you. And she's so upset that he's bamboozled her, understandably.
Oh yeah.
That she says to Big when she walks back in, she sees him in the hallway, and she says, you guys are crazy to get married.
Ugh.
Marriage ruins everything.
And just like that, the seed was planted, and Big ended up standing Carrie up. And Miranda
was always going to stand her up.
I think he probably was always going to do it too, but Miranda feels really guilty and like this was her fault because she said that to him in passing.
She should have taken it to the grave.
And yes, okay, so here's the dilemma. This is almost the biggest dilemma in the whole movie is she, after Big stands Carrie up, she pulls Charlotte aside and she's like, listen, I said this thing to Big, and do you think that I should tell Carrie? And Charlotte goes, not right now. Carrie is so jilted. She doesn't need to hear that you did this. Molly and I share the opinion that actually the answer is you should never tell Carrie that you did that.
Yeah,
because who's it going to help?
Who is it going to help? It only helps Miranda feel relief from the guilt. And that is selfish to me. I thought it was selfish that she told Carrie. Even if she thought that she was doing it for like the right reasons, the only person who's benefiting is Miranda to be like, oh, well, I'm not holding a secret anymore.
Yeah, and she ends up telling Carrie on Valentine's Day. So it's been 5 months. And it's like, at that point, girl, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And then Carrie is like, I've been thinking about this every day, wondering. And now you tell me that you ruined my marriage. So she does kind of push the idea that it's Miranda's fault, which is crazy because Big is a massive avoidance.
Yeah.
But the storyline for Carrie is Big stands her up, and throughout the year, she's done with his ass. And I will say, I remember from the first time I watched this, being shocked that the point of the movie is for them to come back together.
Oh,
because when he stood her up, I didn't know anything about them as a couple, and I was like, this guy's horrible.
Yeah, you said, oh, thank God he's gone.
Yeah.
She has a new love of her life, her assistant, Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, and we have to talk about the best thing to come out of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
St. Louis from St. Louis.
Oh, my gosh. And, of course, the reference to Meet Me in St. Louis, a movie that we famously discussed.
Yeah, that
on
we
your
famously
podcast.
love.
Yeah.
Whose song,
The trolley song?
no, Have Yourself a Merry Little
Yes.
Christmas is Molly's favorite Christmas song.
It is.
Judy Garland's version specifically.
Specifically.
Because she hasn't heard mine. Just kidding.
But can I just say something about this whole storyline of her hiring the assistant?
Please.
Carrie Bradshaw would never have an assistant or even herself unpack those boxes, move them from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Bradshaw would be the woman to hire Spider Moving Company. She would hire Spider Moving Company.
Shout out.
The sponsor of Dude IDK Studios. She would have full service. She would say, I'm in Mexico. I need you all to move my things to put them back exactly where they were so that I can walk in here and forget that big ever happened. And then Jennifer Hudson, my assistant, can get to work doing other stuff for me, helping me organize my clothes, helping me to, I don't know, land other freelancing deals.
You're so right.
Even just to plan a dinner. This woman bought her assistant a Louis Vuitton bag, arguably, as you said, one of the uglier things that we've ever seen.
It's hideous.
But tens of thousands of dollars on a bag, and she's not paying for full service moving?
She would. She absolutely would pay for Spider, and that's Spider with a Y, by the way.
And it absolutely is, spidermoving.com.
Uh-huh.
And I swear to God, when I saw that, I was gooped and gagged that she is standing in her apartment with all the boxes. I understand it's for the dramatic effect of being like, oh, well, here I am again.
Yeah.
But Carrie Bradshaw wouldn't lift a finger.
No. No. And I know that because I wouldn't either.
Yeah. But
if I don't, she wouldn't.
It did give us the montage of her unpacking. Oh, no. Actually, that was before she moved. It was but when she was moving into the penthouse, she was going through all of her clothes and trying them on.
Yeah, which
we had
love that.
A little dressing room montage moment.
Yeah. What we get when she's recovering from the being left at the altar was her changing her hair to brunette, which is one of my favorite things about this movie.
Really, really good choice for her.
That we have to mention is that Carrie Bradshaw goes brunette for most of this movie, and it is my favorite version of her. I've also always said, like, this is another thing that actually did translate into And Just Like That, I have to tell you.
Okay.
My favorite part about Carrie Bradshaw in this movie is that while she's recovering from her heartbreak with Big, she basically adopts this new assistant. And she, like you said, she takes her for drinks. There's like my favorite thing is when she realizes that her assistant, Luis, has a broken heart over the boyfriend that she broke up with in St. Louis. And she says, and just like that, I realized there were 2 broken hearts in my walk-in.
I laughed out loud. I said, and just like that, I realized I wasn't the only person who'd ever been broken up with.
Okay, but I understood her so much in that moment.
Okay, that is so true. When you're going through a breakup and you're like, this is the worst thing that's happened to anybody.
Yeah.
No one has experienced pain like me.
And then when you finally are able to get out of your own shit for long enough to see someone else also going through it, it's one of the best feelings. Because
absolutely.
You feel an instant sense of camaraderie in a whole new way with them. And also I love that Luis is younger.
Yes.
And Carrie goes into a very like big sister mode.
Totally.
That brunette, big sister Carrie Bradshaw is my favorite version of Carrie Bradshaw.
Yes.
I say this as a 34-year-old mother of 2, that I feel this in a whole new way that I never even felt before when we were watching the other day. I was like, oh my God, I feel this spiritually.
I love that. And I love that when Louise gets back together with her boyfriend, Carrie is not bitter. Carrie does not say, oh, well, only one of us found love again. She's genuinely happy for this woman who she's taken under her wing.
Because Carrie believes in love. But
you know what was baffling about her whole process of finding an assistant? When she interviews a man he worked at like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. He's very like buttoned up, very business school, very, very Harvard business school. And then she's like, so why do you want to work with me? And the camera pans down to his heels. He winks.
Yep.
And that is supposed to be the sign that she doesn't hire him.
This is one thing that didn't age well. Yeah, when Carrie is looking for an assistant, there is like this guy who's in a suit, but he's wearing these like pink stilettos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in 2025, Carrie would be like, this is the guy who's my assistant.
Yeah.
And poor St. Louis from St. Louis would not have stood a chance.
No, she would have said, I hired
With
you
her
on the
rented
spot.
bag.
Yeah. With her rented
So,
bag. Love
honest-
that was groundbreaking, because that was before renting clothes and stuff was
Yeah.
really as popular as it is now.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson, St. Louis from St. Louis, was ahead of her time.
Yeah, and it's really funny because in the movie she refers to whatever the company is as it's like Netflix for purses.
Oh my gosh.
Which is so funny because I'm like, that's not even what Netflix is anymore. But it used to be, you know, you rent a DVD and then you give it back. So it's like, oh, what a cute little throwback.
I know.
Ultimately, this movie ends with Carrie and Big reuniting in the closet of the apartment that she really wanted to live in, which was a penthouse, but they're closing on it because they've sold it. And he ends up proposing to her with a dark blue Manolo Blahnik, which, as I made Molly watch, are the shoes she is wearing in 2021 in the pilot of And Just Like That, when she finds Big dying from a heart attack in their shower.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most romantic things in the world, but I have kind of a morose version of romance
Oh my god.
that I refer to.
Yeah.
But ultimately they get their happy ending, and Charlotte has another baby. Baby Rose is born.
Yep.
Which we'll definitely be talking about her in the sequel.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about how Miranda and Steve got back together, and Miranda can go back to just complaining about work because now she doesn't have to complain about her husband cheating on her.
Absolutely.
And Samantha is a single woman at the end of this movie, and we watched a whole season unfold in just over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Also worth noting, because it's going to come up in our next episode on your podcast.
Yes.
In this movie, we also see the convergence of Stanford and Anthony.
Yes.
That's really important to know for the sequel, is that Stanford and Anthony, as part of just a montage over New Year's.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, one of the best New Year's moments, Auld Lang Syne in this movie is really beautiful. Carrie treks across town. I mean,
cute.
if you haven't seen this movie in a long time, you should watch it. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
New Year's is great, but part of that New Year's night is Stanford and Anthony don't have anyone to kiss at midnight.
Yeah.
They turn to each other. They're like, oh God, I can't stand this guy, but let's kiss.
One of my favorite movie tropes is people at New Year's Eve not knowing who they should kiss and turning to the person next to them, and then we find out that they're gonna fall in love.
Oh,
It's
God.
so cute. Why am I such a sucker?
You know, one of my best New Year's kisses was with a woman bartender in Minneapolis.
Oh,
I know.
cute.
We didn't fall in love.
No.
But I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But it was 2020. So
Yeah.
we saw how that turned out for me
Yeah.
and the world.
Super spreader.
That's actually why that happened. Yeah. It was, no, to be clear, it was like 19 going into 2020.
Sure. First known case of COVID in the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like before I should have known better.
Yeah.
I want to make it clear. Molly, thank you for talking about this movie with me. I
my
could talk for
gosh.
3 hours about it, but we do have just enough time to fly through Sip, Save, or Spill because I cannot end an episode without doing it.
Oh my gosh. And just like that, we finished recapping Sex and the City, the movie.
The
part
first
1.
movie. But you guys will be joining us
Yeah.
after we do Sip, Save, or Spill over on
be
Did
back.
That Age Well?
See you there.
Check the description. It's linked. Pick a question out of any jar. Don't even look.
Okay.
Like, let's just do this. This is going to make us so authentic.
What would 10-year-old you think of you today? And I'm supposed to answer, right? And then you answer?
Either way, but like,
Okay.
I would love for you to answer first.
What would 10-year-old you think of you today? 10-year-old me, sorry to brag, but 10-year-old me would be so happy with 31-year-old me.
Oh my God.
Because when I was 10, I said, I want to be a writer. And I am. And I wanted to.
so
I didn't know
similar.
what podcasting was yet. I talked about this when I was on the Mortified show. Podcasting was not a thing yet, but I wanted to be a radio DJ. I wanted to be a radio DJ or a writer or both. And here I am with a podcast. I'm a writer. And I wanted to, I think I probably always wanted to have like bright hair colors. And I finally was able to do that as an adult. And I think I would like that. I lived in Denver. I'd be like, oh my God, I live in the city, you know, because I grew up in Little Fort Collins. And I don't know. I think that 10-year-old me would be like, why weren't you married 10 years ago? But that is because I grew up in the era of rom-coms and, you know, we love rom-coms. Always love rom-coms. But I did grow up in an era where, like, I just assumed that everyone was going to get married at 22.
It was still the expectation.
Yeah. So I think 10-year-old me would be like, what are you, gay? Because marriage equality was not a thing yet. So I'd be like, well, if you're not married, it's because you're gay.
Oh, because you're not allowed.
Because you're not allowed.
Oh.
Anyway.
10-year-old you. So this was what, 2004?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Well, I think that is probably a question that everyone should ask themselves.
Yeah.
What would 10-year-old you think of you now? And I think, like, in some ways, maybe it's okay if you're 10-year-old, you would be disappointed. Like, for instance, what if when you were 10, you thought you wanted to be a Republican?
Oh, my God.
Then you'd be happy or nothing like that. But it's a good reflection point to consider what's changed in your life since you were younger.
Yeah.
My answer is so similar to yours.
Really?
I think that if my 10-year-old self met me now, I would just be like, oh, wow. And because at 10 years old, I never even cared about having a partner because I was like, I think I might be gay.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just going to be alone forever.
Yeah.
Which,
and you were like,
honestly,
that'll be fine.
Yeah. That is how I know I'm a Samantha.
Yeah.
Because at this point in my life, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever love a man as much as I love myself. And
absolutely.
Like, I am very unwilling to change much about my life to cater to any man. And so, like, that part would be fine. I also wanted to be a writer.
Oh my God.
And you know
now
the funniest thing is I wanted to also host a radio show. I'm not kidding.
Cameron.
I'm not kidding. Did you, when you were in elementary school, did you do Young Ameritown? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I do know what it is.
Yeah, it was like this little town where in 5th and 6th grade, you go on a field trip with your class. You have to apply for a job. You have to do job interviews, get fake money. You can buy like candy and stuff with your money. But for a day, it's like Capitalism Junior. Like,
yeah, I used to work for an organization that did basically the same thing where it was like you had to go to like the Toyota sponsored booth and get car insurance. And then you had to go to like it was like everything was like sponsored by a big corporation for little kids to learn how to be capitalists. But it's like also cute in some ways.
Oh, it was so cute, and I'm so
cute
glad we did
because I love when kids act like little adults and they're like,
I do too.
Oh my God, like I want to buy a Toyota truck. How am I going to pay for it?
Yeah.
Before they have a driver's license.
I mean, to be honest with you, in most cases, I would prefer if children acted like adults.
Oh my God, same.
Like, grow up. You're what, 7?
Yeah, Lily.
Yeah, Lily. Oh God. And we will be talking more about Lily.
Of course.
But I wanted to be the disc jockey at the radio station, and I didn't get the job.
Oh.
But what job I did get? Newscaster.
As you should.
So this is still kind of along those lines because look at me. I'm delivering the hard-hitting news about a movie that came out 17 years ago.
Which is why you were always meant to have a podcast on video. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm delivering news to people every week on the Cameron Show. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So I'd be very happy. I'd be very happy with myself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
24 years later.
So sweet.
I'll tell you this much. 10 years old doesn't seem like it was 24 years ago. That's kind of gross. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Next question.
Okay.
So that was Savor, as it turns out.
Okay. Now, this one is, what is your current fixation?
This is and that's a sip question. My friend Vernia wrote it. I can tell by the handwriting.
It's cute.
What's your current fixation?
And it's in gel pen, and I love that.
Oh my God, so does she. She'll be thrilled to hear she has a fellow gel pen lover.
So cute. My current wait, do you want to start?
No, because I can't think of one. You start.
Okay, my current fixation is the show The Chair Company. The Chair Company is a HBO series created by Tim Robinson, stars Tim Robinson, and it's about this man who has like an embarrassing incident at work where he like sits on a chair and it breaks, and he uncovers this conspiracy about this chair company, and it kind of like ruins his life a little bit, but it also kind of makes him feel alive for the first time in years. It is such a like thrilling show about something so stupid.
Is it a comedy?
It's a comedy.
I was like, it must be.
It's a comedy. It is one of those shows that like I just can't stop talking about. I've watched it in full, and I'm like, immediately when it ended, I said, when's the second season coming out? Because they left it on a cliffhanger.
Oh,
which
I
thought
love and hate that.
I thought was a bold choice, because when I first started the series, I thought that it was going to be a mini series. I was like, well, there's no way that they can take this into a second season. And it turns out they can.
The Chair Company.
The Chair Company.
I've never even heard of the Chair Company.
Well, now you have.
You've piqued my curiosity about the Chair Company.
What's your current fixation?
What am I fixated on right now? Sometimes my interests don't change, because when we watched the Sex and the City movies the other day on my couch, and then I made you watch part of the pilot of And Just Like That, I kept watching after you left, and now I'm halfway through season 1. I've rewatched And Just Like That about 12 times, so I am still actually in my And Just Like That fixation. I would love to get a new fixation, but it's really hard for me, and it always happens unexpectedly, and then it's really hard for me to shake until a new one comes along.
Yeah.
I'm open to a new fixation.
Sure.
But Carrie has my heart. I am a Carrie Bradshaw apologist. A lot of people hated the end of And Just Like That, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how it ends?
You did tell me how it ends.
Oh.
She ends by saying she's not alone, she's on her own.
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought that sounded great.
Michael Patrick King says he did that on purpose, because when the first series ended, she got that little text from Mr. Big at the very end, and everyone's like, oh, so at the end her happy ending is still based on this man.
Right.
And I like that in And Just Like That, she's a widow.
Yeah.
Mr. Big is dead.
Aiden, and just like that, Big died.
Aiden, spoiler alert, Aiden turns out to be a dud again.
Oh. I'm an Aiden apologist.
You won't be if you watch And Just Like That.
I'm sure I wouldn't be.
They made him stay true to character, but showed why it still is not going to work.
Yeah.
And she ends up not alone, but on her own.
Yeah.
That's my fixation still.
Yeah. That checks out.
And in the last, I will say this also. They play the song that she's dancing alone in her new house to at the very end of the series finale. And it's Barry White's My First, My Last, My Everything.
Aww.
And Barry White is singing about the woman he's in love with, but in the context of this final scene with Carrie Bradshaw dancing by herself in her house, it's she is her first, her last, her everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes I will put that song on repeat and dance around my house.
Oh.
It's psychotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also love that, because we need everything that we can in this economy.
I tell you what, it makes me feel happy, and I don't care if it's crazy.
Oh, girl.
I never don't feel happy when I do that, and I've done it quite a few times now.
Yeah.
Since it ended.
Did you do it today?
I did it last night. I'll tell you, I did it last night when I got home. There's also a version by Harry Connick Jr. that's pretty good.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Okay.
Barry White.
Love that.
All right.
Okay.
So actually, we still have a spill, because that was savor and then sip.
Okay. So is this one?
Yeah.
Spill?
Oh God, I keep saying I need a refill.
What's something you've forgiven but not forgotten? Wow.
I forgive Mr. Big for standing Carrie up at her wedding.
but
I
you
have
not forgotten. Honestly, same. I know that sounds like a cop-out answer, but when he came back and the two of them reunite,
yeah,
I felt like, okay, yeah, this is a bad idea. It would have been satisfying if she, kicked him out, but I think that, like, while I am an Aiden apologist, I understood why she forgave him. And I decided I would move past it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I will never forget what he
No.
did to her.
And when he died, 15 years later, 13 years
Mhm.
later, I did remember this man stood her up once
Yeah.
upon a time.
Yeah.
He was not a saint.
No.
So let us not turn this dead person into a saint, as a lot of people do when someone dies.
Absolutely.
I was just having this conversation with someone the other day.
Mm.
This is what we'll end on.
Okay.
When I die, let it be known on the record right now, I don't want anyone to make it seem like I was a saint while I was alive, because there is actually nothing I would find more disrespectful than if someone said, Cameron, he was an angel.
He lit up a room.
He lit up a room all the time.
Yeah.
He never did anything petty.
Yeah.
He never said anything hurtful. Excuse me.
I don't think you have to worry about your friends saying that.
Good. Because let me tell you something. And I am so glad that the internet lives forever, because I mean this.
Period.
If I've said something mean to you, I probably meant it. And I don't want you to forget it just because I'm dead. And if I've made a decision to cut your ass out, probably did that on purpose. I'll tell you this, I do very little by accident.
That is so powerful.
And if I die tomorrow, please remember that.
I'm going to read an excerpt from your memoir at your funeral, and it's going to be about someone you hate.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Yeah. And that's something naughty I did.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
I'll say he was complex, and then I'll turn to whatever you think is like the most egregious thing that you wrote about, and I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll say multidimensional.
I think that's great.
A complex character. We do not want to narrow you down to a simple character. You are complex.
And I want you to forgive me, but I don't want you to forget it.
Never forget.
That's a great ending.
Oh, that's
Thank
so
you for
beautiful.
being here.
Oh my gosh.
And I cannot wait to discuss Sex and the City 2 with you, where the girls go to Abu Dhabi. And did that age well? Well, we'll be talking about it.
Well, we'll be talking about it.
All right, friends, head over now to Did That Age Well, hosted by Molly Smith, and you can hear us talk about the sequel. And until I see you on my show again, live your best life. Don't be a dick. I love you. Goodbye.